Actually, I'm going to read his commandments first. Because you can never go wrong reading God's commandments. Can't never go wrong reading none of this. Exodus 20. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Now, first of all, we know that when he says no other gods, there are no other gods. My daughter asked me this question before. What do you mean no other gods? He said there are none. He's the only God. He's saying if you read the Bible, there are no other gods but devils, idols, idolatry. He said, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything is in heaven, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Let's stop right there for a second. What if the iniquity of Christmas is a visitation of people constant rebellion against God, and God's gave them over to it, and it just keep going and keep going? What if that's a reprobate mind? Think about it. He said, I will visit the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. I keep letting you do it. I'm going to make you do it. I'm going to not make you, I'm going to allow you to. You done gave over to your heart's desire to do the things that's not pleasing to me. I'm going to keep letting you do it. I'm going to keep letting your children do it. Because somebody going to have to make an end. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. What's more vain than Christmas? If that ain't vain, I don't know what it is. You know, if I had another phone here and I can go over the meaning behind this time period, don't you think that's taking Christ's name in vain? Using it in a pagan way? It's neither here nor there. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. As I said before, today is not even the Sabbath. I was at the church the week before last or last week, and the pastor was like, people fishing on Sunday. You know what? They can. Because Sunday is not the Sabbath of the Lord. Saturday is. So much confusion. And the church think they got it right. And they got it wrong. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the Sabbath day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth and the sea, and all that them is, and rested the Sabbath day. And wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and the holiday. The Sabbath day been blessed since Genesis. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is in thy neighbor's. You shouldn't want what nobody else got. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said to Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, let we die. And Moses said to the people, fear not, for God has come to prove you. You don't think Jesus is proving people still to this day? And that his fear may be before your faces, that you sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near into the thick darkness where God was. And the Lord said unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, you have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. You shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall you make unto you gods of gold. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, shall sacrifice thereon the burnt offerings and the peace offerings, thy sheep and thy oxen, in all places where I record my name. I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. If thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. For if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up upon the steps unto my altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon. Ain't that amazing? That God gave these perfect commandments. Amazing, ain't it? Amazing. He gave us those words to let us know. And those words are still in the play. The 10 Commandments are. Let's go over a few pages, people. Exodus chapter 32. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said to him, up, make us gods which shall go before us. For as of this Moses, the man that brought us out of the land of Egypt, we know not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons. People say earrings are wrong. What did he say? Break off wives of your sons. Break off your earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, these be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, tomorrow is a feast of the Lord. Pay attention. He just made up a day. Tomorrow is a feast of the Lord. Just made up a day for worship. And he rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to pay. And the Lord said unto Moses, go get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. You born again. I thought you was a new creation. They love to say this, all old things are passed away, but we're going to keep Christmas. We're going to keep Easter. We're going to keep some of the things. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it. They have sacrificed thereunto and said, these be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And the Lord said to Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. When I read that, I see the same thing. And sometimes you want to be like Moses. You want to be like Moses, what Moses is about to do. Now, therefore, let me alone, that my wrath. Now, you got to think about it. Who is this talking when you hear the Lord? That's Jesus talking to Moses. Now, therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. And Moses besought the Lord, his God, and said, Lord, why doth thy wrath wax hot against the people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt in great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and said unto them, I will multiply your seeds as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto you seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And the Lord repented of the evil which he thought to do unto this people. And that's sometimes how we feel. We're like, Lord, they don't know what they're doing. Lord, don't do this to them. We try to vouch for them. Make it okay. Like, no, Lord, don't. Well, watch how Moses changed. You remember the Bible said, thy will be done? And Moses turned and went down from the mount, and the 2 tables of testimony were in his hand. The tables were written on both their sides. On the one side and on the other were written. And the tables were the work of God. And the writings was the writing of God, graven upon the tables. And when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moses, there's a noise of war in the camp. But it wasn't war. It was celebration. And he said, this is not the voice of them that shout for mastery. Neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome. But the noise of them that sing do I hear. Singing and making melody to God, supposedly. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with making up a feast for the Lord. Putting his name on it, using his name in vain. Nothing wrong with that. That's what they think. Well, we say Jesus in it. We still honoring the God, but and it came to pass as soon as he came nigh to the camp that he saw the calf and the dancing. And Moses' anger was waxed hot. Who else's anger waxed hot? Because if you God's child, what makes him upset is going to upset you too. But you see, Moses don't see how God sees. But when he started coming down the mountain, he saw it with his own eyes, and his mood changed, and he waxed hot. And let's see what he did. He cast the tables out of his hand and brake them beneath the mount. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire and ground it to powder and strawed it upon the water and made the children of Israel drink of it. It's weird, you ain't got to make them drink of nothing anymore. You just do it willingly. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire and ground it to powder and strewed it upon the water and made the children of Israel to drink of it. And Moses said to Aaron, what did this people unto thee, that thou hast brought so great a sin upon them? I'm telling this to y'all preachers and pastors. What did these people do to y'all? That y'all have brought this great sin of this pagan holiday into God's house. I'm telling you the same thing. What he said? And brought this great sin upon them. Y'all pastors, y'all worse than the people. I was talking to my cousin last year. His pastor went up. No, this is not Christ's birthday, but we choose to worship it as Christ's birthday. We choose to believe a lie anyway. God knows our heart. He knows your heart, Pastor. He knows you causing the people to sin through worshiping and belief in a lie. It's not his birthday. And Aaron said, let not thine anger of my Lord wax hot. Thou knowest the people that they are set on mischief. And sometimes something got to be done. For they said it to me. Make us gods which shall go before us, for as this Moses, the man that's brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we know not what is become of him. And you know why a lot of churches don't stop? Because the people do the same thing now. We can't take Christmas away. And the pastor, Aaron's. Okay. Since y'all, we voted, and I feared the people more than I feared God, so I don't want to take this away from nobody's children. I don't want to step on no toes. I don't want y'all to kill me for this. I like this church. And I don't want y'all to kick me out of the church because I don't want to indulge in this pagan holiday. So I'm going to indulge in it too. I'm going to agree with the adversary. For they said to me, make us gods which shall go before us. For as this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we not that is become of him. And I said to them, whosoever have any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it me that I cast it to the fire, and there came out this calf. It just appeared out of nowhere, huh? And they gave me their gold and their silver, and they made me decorate the church like this. They made me do it. I thought the head of the church was a pastor. He can't make you do nothing. You're supposed to be the pastor of the church. But why are you going along with this vain worship of my God? And when Moses saw the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies, then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on the Lord's side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him. And I'm asking y'all right now, who of you are on the Lord's side? Gather to the Lord. You ain't got to gather to me. Gather to the Lord. Come out from among them. And he said to them, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from the gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. You see, I'm sure when they separated, because the God is slow to anger and very merciful, they probably thought God was going to give them another pass. And every year you do this, you probably thinking God's going to give you another pass. What if he decide not to give you a pass? What if this is your last time to say no? Just like it was their last time. And the children of Levi did according to the word of Moses. And there fell of that people that day about 3,000 men. And you know, around Christmas time, they play the Exodus story with Charleston Heston, the 10 Commandments. They play this every year around this time frame. How much of a slap in the face is that for them to play this movie up here? And people don't even take heed to it. This was one of my favorite movies growing up. I like this movie around this time frame more than anything. But now that I'm older, I really realized what this move was all about. It's like God designed to play a warning every year. He said all things work together for those who believe. It's like God, like, let's play the 10 Commandments. Let's have the networks play the 10 Commandments every year in December and see if the people pay attention. And they don't. And Moses had said, consecrate yourselves today to the Lord, even every man upon his son and upon his brother, that he may bestow upon him a blessing this day. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses said to the people, ye have sinned a great sin. And now I will go up unto the Lord, peradventure I shall make an atonement for your sin. And Moses returned to the Lord and said, oh, this people have sinned a great sin, and they have made them gods of gold. I know what y'all gonna say. It's not a golden calf. So let me read Jeremiah 10 again. Yet now thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book, which thou hast written. Look at that. He's talking about the book with the names in it. And the Lord said to me, Moses, listen closely. We can't vouch for nobody else. And Moses said, whosoever has sinned against me, him will I blot out my book. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Let's put it this way. Let's put it like this, people. Not doing it will not jeopardize your salvation. But the possibility of doing it could. If you know it's not written in here, do you hear what I'm saying? It ain't one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're more damned if you do. You're not damned if you don't. In this case, if you don't do it, how can you be damned for something you don't do? You choose not to recognize. You choose not to acknowledge. But you can be damned for acknowledging that as a truth. Therefore now go lead the people unto the place which I have spoken to thee. Behold, my angel shall go before thee. Nevertheless, in the day when I will visit their sin upon them. This is symbolic of Christ's return. On the day when I come back, I will visit their sin upon them. What can be the sin? How you gonna visit them? You won't make it. And the Lord plagued the people because they made the calf which Aaron made. Listen closely. 33. And the Lord said to Moses, depart and go hence, thou and thy people, which thou hast brought up out of the land of Egypt, into the land which I swear unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saying, unto thy seed will I give it. I will send an angel before thee, and I will drive out the Canaanite, the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. For I will not go in the midst of thee, for thou art a stiff-necked people, lest I consume thee in the way. And when the people heard these evil tidings, they mourned, and no man did put on his ornaments. For the Lord said unto Moses, saying to the children of Israel, ye are a stiff-necked people. I will come up into the midst of thee in a moment, and consume thee. Therefore now put off thy ornaments from thee, that I may know that what to do unto thee. And the children of Israel stripped themselves of their ornaments by the Mount Horeb. You can read the rest for yourself. You think these stories in the Old Testament are here just for... They love to warn, like these preachers love to warn you of the impending judgment of God. And then go against him. Because they fear the people. Remember what happened to Saul? Let me pause now, we'll continue.